Yeah, the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Yeah. Take some time, say good morning, give a little love. Hey, take a good look around, and if you're looking down, put a little love in your heart. I hope when you decide kindness will be your guide, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place. Yeah, the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Yeah, put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your Welcome. Please join us for our opening song. In just a moment, the words will... Oh, there they are. Spirit is in this place. Here we go. We have come together as family. We come here as we are, and we have come with arms wide open. Yeah, we have gathered here in love. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise a room with shouts of praise. Spirit is in this place. And we sing in celebration. Yeah, we sing with words of prayer. Namaste, amen. And we affirm our life as sacred. Yeah, we declare the peace is here, right now. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise a room with shouts of praise. Spirit is in this place. Come as you are.
Good morning, Pacific Coast Center for Spiritual Living. Is Spirit in this place or what? I'm Valerie. I'm blessed to be a practitioner here at our beautiful center, and I'm going to invite Debbie Ann to bring up our light, and as she's bringing up the light, that's just an opportunity for each of us to remember that we're the light, and just connect with the light that you are. Yeah, that exhale as we hear the music, just exhaling. Do you know that when you exhale, you reset your nervous system? So just exhaling and letting that light shine. Feeling the light that you are, the light that we are. And let us read our affirmation together. We rise together as love in commitment to one another and ourselves. We rise together with intention to learn about ourselves and each other. We rise together. And let us pray. So we just arrive here in that vibration of the I am, that I am, the I am, that we are. Just recognizing the infinite intelligence in all, as all, through all. We just give thanks for this beautiful sanctuary, for each person that has shown up to just be in that love, in that joy, in that infinite possibility that is this beautiful service. We know that Spirit sings and plays and dances through our musicians, and that speaks through Reverend Bobbi, and that her message falls on our open hearts. That we have open hearts to receive the truth of Spirit expressing in, through, and as this service. We just open up to the infinite intelligence that is this message of oneness, this message of curiosity, this message of a new year, a new beginning, Chinese New Year, Super Bowl, new moon, like it's all happening, just all this exciting energy is colliding right here and right now in this service, this day. So it comes together just as an opening for new beginnings, new expression, new life, new love, newness, wholeness. And so we just rest in thee, saying, thank you, Mother, Father, God, and so it is, and so I let it be. Amen.
Well, good morning, and welcome, everybody. Everybody's here, and we've got our friends in digitally connected there. It's so good to be all together again today. I'm today's host, Keith Watanabe. I am a community member and a volunteer. And if we could read together, please. Through mindful and respectful exploration, we are creating a healthier foundation that supports and engages a whole beloved community, equipped to launch new strategies for a thriving spiritual center. Maybe we can do this, the last three words one more time. Thriving spiritual center. Sounds pretty great, right? So, I've got a little secret I wanted to share. Okay, a little secret. Now, this service works pretty well, looks pretty easy and flows, right? But behind it all, I just wanted to show you. This is our production schedule. Most of you don't know this, okay? But those of us that are involved, it is a 2-page, 4-column, color-coded to the minute, okay? And in fact, me, host, 11:11 to 11:13. That's my time slot. What's the point of that? The point is there's many people involved in this. There's a lot of people involved, okay? But with intention. So on with it. So what's on the schedule for today? Today, we've got the wonderful Reverend Bobbi speaking about curiosity and learning. Let's hear it for Bobbi. Curiosity and learning, the first thing I thought of was, you ever hear the term curiosity killed the cat? Okay. Did you know that's not the full explanation? There's more to that, okay? But have you ever heard things grabbed apart and it's used? It sounds sort of negative, right? Curiosity killed the cat. Lucky cats have 9 lives, right? Because how do we learn and progress without some curiosity? Really important, right? Our practitioners holding a spiritual space for us. We had Reverend Juanita this morning holding meditation. Thank you. Reverend Valerie Day, you just saw. Practitioner Debbie Ann Vokes, and Leadership Council President, okay? Holding this beautiful spiritual circle around me is how it feels. Little purple circle. I love it. Welcome team, Lorraine, Janine, and Diane, giving us a warm welcome, welcoming us all today. It's a fun group. If you have an opportunity to participate with them, I'd suggest it. Carol Ann, providing some production standards for us to keep us on track, keep us together. And of course, our music, which you've heard today, unbelievable, right? Let's hear it for the music. Melissa Lewis, Des, Jim, and a newcomer we have today, David Anthony. Please welcome David. So talented. Next, I've got someone with a big heart and even a bigger hug if you're so lucky to be able to participate, to experience that. Tori, please come up on your leadership council, and I'm going to give us some announcements today.
Thank you. Here's a hug. Here you go. Hi, everyone. I get to take my second to look at everyone, and I absolutely love it. Beautiful. What a wonderful opportunity. And my favorite slide, of course. Let's see what we got going on here, folks. Okay, we're going to talk about the pre-service. Each Sunday, one of the practitioners will lead 20 minutes of quiet meditation before the service, and it's over here in the meditation room. It's at the end of the hall there, next to the restrooms. Don't worry, you're not interrupted. Because of the restroom. Okay, no. And, God, I hate when I have to explain them. It's terrible. And that's from 10:20 to 10:40. The next slide is Big Love, the 4 immeasurables. Tenzin Chigogi. I knew it. Darn, how many times did I practice it? Chigogi. Jogi. Okay, Tenzin Jogi and Casey Howe. And they're doing this amazing mindful class. It's on February 24th. And it's an extraordinary opportunity to learn. Casey and his teacher, Tenzin Chogi, ordained by His Holy Dalai Lama, are conducting a workshop entitled Big Love, the 4 Immeasurables. Tenzin is a teacher of workshops and programs that bring the world's Buddhist thought, contemplative practice, mental and emotional cultivation, and the latest research in the fields of positive psychology. Tenzin is a certified teacher of compassion cultivation training, a secular compassion training program developed at Stanford University. And these tickets are $80, and they are on sale now in the back and on our website at pacificcsl.org. Okay. Whew, I made it through, you guys. Oh, I don't know how I did that one. That was a toughie. Anyway, it definitely is something worth looking into. Serious note. Join Rev Juanita on Sunday at 10:30 on Zoom for a discussion group we call Spiritual Elders. The Spiritual Elders mission statement is, we are an open community of elders celebrating the joys and adventures of aging. We create a safe place for sharing ideas and experiences, accepting ourselves and all others as we embrace becoming wise elders. Our Zoom link has changed. You only need to register once so we can create a roster of attendees. And the registration link can be found on our website, once again, pacificcsl.org. And then my absolute favorite part. Thank you Right now we have a thank you to John Broderick. Once again, used his technology. Yes, definitely. Wonderful, John. He used his technology expertise to save the day. It's a bunch of technical stuff, but in short, he authenticated our domain name so the Waves of Joy and emails get delivered without getting blocked by Google. Thank you, John. Woo, that was a close call. I personally have one. Thank you, Reverend Bobbi and Miss Practitioner Valerie Day. They do such amazing work in cultivating and bringing to us new people, different ideas, really broadening our horizons and keeping things new and fresh. So we had a session here on Saturday. It was really interesting, but we're here to learn and in all different ways. Let's just put it that way. And anyway, so we believe in making a difference. I'd like to invite Jesse and Rev Veronica up to talk about it.
Good morning, good morning. I'm Reverend Veronica, and this is Jesse Keeler, Minister Student Extraordinaire. Yes, yes. And we are the leaders of the IDEA Committee, which stands for Inclusion, Diversity, Environment, Accessibility Advocates. And so this is our new committee that's formed here at Pacific Coast, and this is our new IDEA.
So this is the I Make a Difference jar. So each and every one of you, whenever you make a difference in the world, whenever you stand up, speak out for inclusion, diversity, the earth, accessibility, make a note. And this is our first note. Put it in the jar. And it doesn't have to be anything big. It could be as simple as I took my own silverware to the diner instead of using the plasticware. It could be bigger. It could be like I'm starting to think about learning new things that I never learned before, about people I'm not familiar with. You can even think bigger, but this is the jar. It's going to be over underneath the clock. So let's fill this up and...
Yes, so that we make a difference. Thank you so much.
I'd like to invite you all to take a deep breath and settle in and allow this song to help prepare you for meditation.
Right here, right now. With every breath I take, I'm letting go. Gonna let it fade away. Right here, right now. I'm getting out of my head and dropping into my heart. Right now, right here, right now. With every breath I take, I'm letting go. Gonna let it fade away. Right here, right now. I'm dropping into my head, dropping into my heart. And how my mind can turn and twist and spin, just begging for some peace. That's how I know it's time to go within. Be still and just breathe. Right here, right now. With every breath I take, I'm letting go. Gonna let it fade away. Right here, right now. I'm getting out of my head and dropping into my heart. And with each breath, I'll go deeper in this space and ground myself from the peace within this place. I can feel the love is flowing all around me, right here, right now. Yeah, I can feel the love is flowing all around me. Right here, right now.
I'm curious. Were you kind to yourself today? Did you whisper sweet nothings in your ear? Or are there messy thoughts calling to be reframed? Did misogyny mess up your monogamy? Or was it polyamory or polygamy? I'm curious. What is going through your mind when you see that rainbow with extra colors? Does it trigger a bell or a buzzer? What is the movement upon itself as your life? Do you doubt? Do you cry? Do you whisper? Do you question why? What is the thought that screams most loudly for your attention? Did you give into it today? I'm curious, what are you feeling today? Is it the kind of loving, tick-not-hong, compassionate observer? Or is it the striving, judging soccer mom that can't seem to get it right? What are you feeling today? I'm curious. Do you want to come out and play? Is there time in your precious day to dance with delight in the sunlight? Or is play just a frivolous idea that adds no value to your world? What are you curious about? Did anything new happen to you this week that gave you that lean-in feeling, that awe and pause of curiosity? Did anything make you whisper, feel wonder, dance with delight, or calmly feel a full heart of love and gratitude? Take pause. Let that feeling wash over you. Let those curious thoughts of love, beauty, grace, and joy guide your ship to the port of oneness and wholeness. Let your soul float home to the open sea of infinite possibilities. Let your soul float home in the sea of infinite possibilities. Join me in the sea of infinite possibilities as we swim and dance and play in curiosity. Good morning, precious Pacific Coast Center for Spiritual Living. Today we're talking about curiosity, the second commitment of the 15 commitments of leadership. It says, I commit to growing in self-awareness. You want to repeat that with me? I commit to growing in self-awareness. I commit to regarding every interaction as an opportunity to learn. Read that with me. I commit to regarding every interaction as an opportunity to learn. I commit to curiosity as a path to rapid learning. So that's what we're going to swim in today. Bobbi's got an amazing sermon prepared for us, and we're going to talk all about how can we learn through curiosity. Now, as practitioners, we're called practitioners because we practice. We're not perfect, we practice. And so I know that's something I struggle with all the time. I get an analysis paralysis because I think I need to be perfect and I don't take action. And so I just wanted to remind us that curiosity is a tool to help us practice not being perfect. So I was preparing for our workshop yesterday, and I was feeling into the workshop was on faith, food, and finances, and I literally, like in my quiet, like felt, it's kind of embarrassing to share this, but like I felt all the shame and guilt in my cells, you know, and I could have gone down this path of this shame and guilt in my cells and really, you know, had a fun time of feeling shitty about myself. But I could also employ curiosity, right? Like, oh, wow, you have a lot of shame and guilt. What's going on there, right? And employ that curiosity of, well, what is that shame and guilt? Is it really necessary? Like, getting curious, right? So we not only can extend curiosity, and Reverend Bobby's going to talk about with others, but I want you to take away like curiosity with yourself. How can you use it to support yourself in not going down that rabbit hole of I'm not enough, or I didn't do it right, or, you know, whatever your stories are. Those are some of mine, right? It's like, let's get curious. And, you know, curiosity it's a lean in activity, right? Like, oh, you're curious. Oh, tell me more, right? You lean in, right? And you get quiet and you whisper and you're interested, right? And so I just want to leave you today with, don't just extend curiosity outside to others, but really extend it to yourself. Be gentle, be loving, be kind, be curious. And so it is.
Hey, Mr. Curiosity, is it true what they've been saying about you? Are you killing me? You took care of the cat already, and for those who think it's heavy, is it the truth, or is it only gossip? Call it a mystery or anything, just as long as you'd call me. I sent the message on, did you get it when I left it? See, this catastrophic event, it wasn't meant to mean no harm, but I think there's nothing wrong, is a problem. And I'm looking for love this time, sounding hopeful, but it's making me cry. Love is a mystery, Mr. Curious. Come back to me, Mr. Waiting, ever patient. Can't you see that I'm not the same the way you left me? In a hurry to spell check me, and I've underlined already in envy green and pencil red. And I've forgotten what you said. Will you stop working for the dead and just return, Mr. Curious? Well, I need some inspiration. It's my birthday and I cannot find no cause for celebration. The scenario is grave, but I'll be braver when you save me from this situation laden with hearsay. I'm looking for love this time, sounding hopeful, but it's making me cry. And love is a mystery, Mr. Curiosity. Please come and find me. I'm looking for love this time, sounding hopeful, but it's making me cry. And love is a mystery, Mr. Curiosity. Love is blinding when you find your timing's never right. Who am I to beg for the difference? Finding love in just an instant, but I don't mind. Oh, love, at least I try. I try.
So today we're going to talk about curiosity, if you didn't know. We throw enough hints around, right? So thank you, Jim, that was perfect. I'm sure you'll be okay. We're going to help that. You good? Oh, gotcha. Okay. I was curious how that was going to work out. Right? We're going to play this all day. I feel it. Wouldn't it be great if our curiosity was the main point of every conversation, right? So I'm going to play something. Go ahead, Matt. Matt's going to play us one of my favorite set of commercials. So get ready. It's Super Bowl all day.
Why is it looking at?
Well, I'm not a cat expert because we don't have a cat.
I'm telling you that I shut the slider last night.
Are you sure about that?
I closed it.
Why don't we check the replay?
That is very aggressive. I don't think.
This What Really Happened replay is brought to you by Progressive. One thing no one would challenge, saving money when you bundle home and auto with Progressive.
Yeah, that does look like me.
That's because it is.
I don't know. Do I pick it up? Okay. Yeah, I deserve that.
Could someone please pass me the sweet potatoes?
Sorry, Grandma, we don't have sweet potatoes.
Oh, what do you mean we don't have sweet potatoes? I told you to get some.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
And you gave me a whole list of things, and I got them all. There's not a list. It doesn't have sweet potatoes on it. Should I look at the replay? Oh, please.
This What Really Happened replay is brought to you by Progressive. One thing no one would challenge, saving money when you bundle home and auto with Progressive.
I'm sorry, Mom. I forgot the sweet potatoes. How does it taste? The mashed potatoes? Oh, that single serving of humble pie you just ate. One.
Nice work. Never heard you scream like that before. Dad, it's not a big deal. I'm scared of spiders, too.
I know it's not a big deal because I didn't scream.
Oh, I see. You didn't scream.
No. So that's why it's not a big deal.
Should we play it back?
Do it.
This What Really Happened replay is brought to you by Progressive. One thing no one would challenge, protecting your home and auto with Progressive.
I'm sorry you had to relive that.
It's kind of... Hey, sweetie, I'm not seeing the life jackets.
Well, you should. You packed them.
No, you packed them.
No, you packed them. You said I won't forget to pack the life jackets.
I won't forget to pack the life jacket. I'm sorry, I have to challenge that.
Well, you do have one left, so...
This What Really Happened replay is brought to you by Progressive. One thing no one would challenge, protecting your home and auto with Progressive.
You know, my favorite part was when you said, obviously, I won't forget to bring the life jackets.
So, just a little show of hands. How many of you in the room would love a replay after a conversation, right? Because that would solve it, right? No, you'd still argue about the sequence events or something like that, because I think the interesting thing is it's so important to us about being right. Right? Right? Right! I mean, being right, what does that mean to me? What does it mean to be right? And this month and next month, we're going to be looking at the 15 commitments to conscious leadership, which is really the 15 commitments to conscious living, because leadership really just means how do I show up in the world, right? So above the line is when I'm open and curious and committed to learning. And when I'm below the line, which is what the folks that designed this, they just drew a line and said, here's above and here's below. When I'm below, I'm closed, defensive, and committed to being right. How many times this week was I committed to being right? Oh my goodness. I decided to pay attention, and as I was tallying them up, I just stopped counting. You know, the thing about it this whole month, we're going to be looking at things like curiosity. Last week, we looked at responsibility. And one of the things we looked at was, and I'm going to ask you to look it down at the bottom, when I'm below that line, I commit to blaming others and myself for what is wrong in the world. I commit to being a victim, villain, or hero and taking more or less than 100% responsibility. I know, didn't that hurt? I swear I have stretch marks in the back of my head right now. But when I'm living above the line, I commit to taking full responsibility for the circumstances of my life and my physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being. I commit to support others to take full responsibility for their lives. So the thing about it is, we talked about this last week. Let's see if we can we have 4 states of consciousness. How many remember this from last week? I'm going through it again because I need a reminder too. The first one is to me. Life happens to me. I'm a victim. I blame others for what's going on. Someone's at fault. The key question I ask in this particular state is, why me? Whose fault is it? I never do that. By me, I make life happen, curiosity and appreciation. The key question is, what can I learn and create? If we can go from to me to, sorry this is light, to me to by me, we're good. That's it, because I'm going to show you the next 2, which we talked about last week. The through me, I cooperate with life happening, allowing, flowing, wonder, and awe. The key question is, what wants to happen through me? Here's how I know I'm not there. It's like, when is what I want to happen going to happen through you? And the last one is as me, which is life is me. I'm all one. It's all one, which is peace and spaciousness. The key question, no more questions. It's just life's unfolding. And so we know, for example, that responsibility starts the by me. If we can get there as a community, we are so gold. If we go next, then we start to surrender, that beautiful 4-letter word that I love, right? We start to surrender. And then the last one is oneness, when I'm just feeling oneness in the experience. We flow in and out of these all the time. We are never all as me. There are places in my life it's to me, there's places that are by me, and there are places that are through me. And every once in a while I get this as me, and I just want to just stay here forever. So, John Lewis, amazing. One of the things he said is his mother discouraged his curiosity, saying, don't get in the way, don't get in trouble. Lewis went in the other direction instead. He said, get in good trouble. So Lewis, what I love about John Lewis, he's one of my favorites as well, besides Harriet Tubman, with respect to an advocate and someone who just rises above the fear. When we play above the line, or below the line, fear is driving us. Our behaviors and beliefs are below the line. Fear. When I'm in fear, below the line. When I'm present with something, that means that my beliefs and behaviors are above the line. So as I mentioned, these 4 stages of consciousness, I would say with respect to John Lewis, he was something. When you look at talking about the drama triangle, which is last week the conversation was, when I'm in the to me, when it's about me, it's happening to me, it's all about me, I am one of these 3. Actually, I'm sometimes all 3, right? The hero, I'll help you get your act together. I never do that, right? The villain, you should know better. You did this. And then the victim, which is I have no choice. We play 1 or 2 or 3 of these. John Lewis did not play here, especially with the civil rights movement. He couldn't afford to. He couldn't afford to, because as long as he's playing here, he's in fear. And what was extraordinary about John Lewis, who was born in the 1940s, amazing man, he was an American civil rights leader and became an elected official. He led the most violent march of the century, and that was at Selma. He led that one. He led it over the bridge to Selma into Montgomery to protest the absence of voting rights, the absence of voting rights. And the governor and his police and posse gave him 2 minutes to disperse. At least that's what they said, but within 30 seconds, that was it. And the brutality that followed was watched by millions of people across the country. And the civil rights movement changed. What was interesting about John Lewis is he went with Martin Luther King soon after to do it again. And Martin Luther King said at some point they came across the bridge, and instead of going all the way across the bridge, they knelt down and they prayed. Because it became clear that we don't need people to go through this again. Curiosity and courage expressed by so many. John Lewis said that love was the engine of the civil rights movement. When we did a sit-in, it was love in action. When we did a freedom ride, it was love in action. The march from Selma to Montgomery was love in action. We don't do it because it's the right thing to do. We do it because it's love in action. That could not be more powerful. The only way I can rest in love is to explore curiosity. Because when I'm in fear, I imagine that love is pretty absent, isn't it? Love for myself, certainly love for others. And I wonder, just with that idea about being, that it has to be right, is as long as something has to be right, then someone has to be wrong. I'm saying this on the day of Super Bowl, as long as someone has to win, then someone has to lose. Who am I rooting for? I don't care. I wanted Buffalo and Detroit to be there. So when we're in that drama triangle, it's hard to get out of it if we're unaware we're in that drama triangle. We're playing in it. We're drowning in it sometimes. We're unconscious. That's what's happening in that moment, is we are unconscious. We are prisoner to our perception of the situation that is around us. I'm trying to imagine John Lewis crossing over the bridge and knowing that he was going to get his ass kicked on the other side, and did it anyway. Not because he was going to get beat up, but I imagine he was curious what would happen, through it. It was funny, even after he had his head bashed in, literally, he stood in front of reporters talking about the importance of voting rights. And then he went to the hospital. Pretty significant. The curiosity that says, what would happen if? I think someone asked me earlier today if I wanted to play that game. The point is that our curiosity can take us to the place that we need to go as individuals, and certainly as we need to go as a collective community. So when we play in that drama triangle, it's really tough. So there is a practice in the 15 commitments of conscious leadership that allows us to shift. And we shift when we're in context, when we're asking ourselves questions from a curious standpoint, not about the stuff itself, but what am I in the stuff? So here's what happens, that when I'm in presence, which by scientific research, it is noted that we allow ourselves to be present for about 4 seconds. That is both frightening and true, right? And that experience, on average, that experience can get longer, and we can, as long as we practice that more and more through things like mindfulness, We can allow ourselves to stay in presence, or at least return to presence more often without buying real estate over here in the victim triangle, the drama triangle, right? It's like I've built a condo with lots of rooms. Some of you may have a castle, I'm not sure. You may have a ranch, that's the size of the drama triangle. But we all get to look at that and see what ours is. Mine certainly, I do have some space over there sometimes. The thing about it is when something happens, I drop down into that drama triangle. And I take on either villain, hero, or victim every time. So I'm going to read you a short list of things we do when we're in the drama triangle. Would you like to know them? Are you sure? And just in case you want to know more, there is a huge list on your way out that you could take home, okay? You thank me now. Here's one of them. I'm going to go back to the drama triangle because I want you to tell me where you think this one is. What about when I argue? Where am I at? Am I a hero, a villain, or a victim? I picked hero. I don't know. It could be any of them, right? It just depends on how good I am at it, right? How about blame? I don't know. The answer's up there. Right? How about when I compare? I know, right? I'm so not as good as you are. Your car's better than my car. How about, what's it? I wish you were as elevated. I think that's up there by, maybe villain right there. Thank you, Ryan. How about complaining? Yeah, I'd go with that one. What about concealing? When I know these so well, it tells me something, right? Defending. I went with victim and villain. I did both of those. What about dismiss? When I dismiss. If I feel dismissed, I'm probably a victim. If I do dismiss, go figure, right? How about gossip? Hero. I'd go with villain, wouldn't you? How about when I get righteous? Totally with you on the hero part. I noticed hero's a four-letter word, too. Just notice, that's all. Protect. Yeah, I'm here to protect you. In a twisted way. What about a judge? When I judge. Man, probably the V's. The V's, right? What's that? True that, right? How about if I withdraw? That's my favorite one. Victim, right? Interpret. What was that? Okay. What did I say? Interpret. Yeah. Trying hard. I'm trying hard. I'm trying hard. I will try hard. I don't know. What about when I assume? Don't give me that. I knew Valerie was going to do that. She's over here just doing the quote. What happens when I assume? Which one am I playing? Hero. Yeah. Could be all. See how this works? And the last one, my favorite, which I love to hear, is whining. I get this, I just, that's me when I think of whining, right? And again, if you want the full list, it's in the back, and I just take that list home. And all I would say for those of you that have a relationship on the rocks, please don't take this list home. And explore this, because you'll explore how the other person is doing this, right? But if things are a little muddy, when you go home and you take radical responsibility. Can you imagine how that would feel, right? It's true. And so the thing about it is, and my buddy, Ernest Holmes, the founder of this movement, he said, the thing that stands between you and the greater good is a thing of thought and nothing else. I'm going to bring this quote up for 8 weeks. Right? It is not reality you must change, but your mental reaction to it. I think that last sentence is everything, isn't it? I'm trying to change a reality because of my perception of it. And in our movement, what we teach is it's not the condition we're changing in our lives, it's our perception of the condition. And therefore, what happens is my relationship with that condition changes, and I start to create, through first cause, a whole beautiful life that is not without challenge. So let's just take that. Doesn't mean it's smooth sailing. Because if that was the case, I think we'd all have left a long time ago. And so the promise of this is to go out and try it. And again, not looking at those conditions, but really looking at how do I see this? Because if I try to change it from how I see it, then I'm trying to fix something that doesn't need to be fixed. And I'm trying to solve something from my perception of the condition, which means that I'm going to continue to create the same thing over and over again. Darn. Right? I see a pattern in my life. I do this over and over and over again. And the invitation is to pause for a moment. Be curious. So with curiosity, what curiosity invites me to do is become present. Whereas when I'm stuck in content, I'm looking at the condition, I see the condition, I'm perceiving the condition. Now I'm in content. When I'm in context, I'm curious and I go, what does this feel like for me? What am I getting from this? What is happening for me as I'm looking at this and feeling this? Do you see the difference? Because you and I will just see those points of reality, at least my own reality, in very, very different ways. So there's a story. Well, it's not even a story. This is truth. At night, it's not unusual to find a horde of moths and other insects circling around a porch light or street lamp. Right? The reasons for being there are likely quite different than what most of us would assume. And this has been new research in the last 5 years. The insects are not actually drawn to the glow like moths to a flame. So, by the way, that quote's about to die right now. But they're trapped in a disorienting orbit around the artificial light. Scientists reported in a study published this last year in Journal of Nature Communications, this new phenomenon. When artificial light does not interfere, nocturnal insects keep their backs pointed towards whatever direction is brightest, which is typically the night sky. True light. And that pointed keeps them from going towards the ground and keeps them above ground. So, however, when insects pass by an artificial light source, they become disoriented, believing that the human-made lighting is the sky. Like when we drift. Like when we drift to this illusion of our perception of a reality, we drift towards it just like this with our old belief. We move to it, and I kind of imagine that when I'm in that drama triangle and I'm moving through it, being distracted by this light, that I am literally about to have a crash landing with the ground. Or I'm moving towards what isn't really light, but the illusion. I'm trapped. And I think that's a great metaphor for how we can look at what really and how really am I seeing the world? Am I seeing for what it is, or am I trapped in the illusion of my perception? And that's the question we get to ask ourselves. Now, when we are stuck in content, which is when we are stuck in the drama triangle, this is what we do. We want to know who's right. Curiosity, it doesn't allow us to stay here. But when we need to be right, we're going to say, how can I protect what's mine? How can I maintain my image? Someone's talking about me. Someone's saying something about me, whatever it is. Or I think someone's saying something about me. Or about so-and-so, or whatever it might be. How can I stay in control? And how can I avoid conflict? I mean, our curiosity is completely shut down. Would you agree? And so when we make the shift, which is something happens, we drop down into the drama triangle, if we can remember, if we can recognize that we are hero, victim, or villain, oh, wait a minute. How do I get out of that? How do I get out of that drama triangle? So here's how we can do it. What if I was curious, which is, what can I learn from this situation as it is? One of the things I keep trying to tell myself is when I keep trying to change a situation, I'm sort of caught up in the problem. But what if I can just look at the situation for what it is? Not characterize, not label it, just see it for what it really is. Which means I have to step back and get really curious. How would I react without controlling an outcome? If I told all of my truth to this situation, what would I say, and how is this situation familiar? To get to these questions, the first thing I have to do, Valerie mentioned, is what, Valerie? Pause, and then, how do I change my nervous system? Thank you. You take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. And you get present. Then you can ask yourself a question. I've tried this, by the way, you have to breathe first. You cannot just drop into the question, because I will always go back to trying to control or being right or whatever it is. I have to breathe, right? And so what that means is if I want to get myself into that context, the place of context, then I must breathe. And then start to ask myself questions, like I said earlier, is, what's happening with me through this situation? What's it bringing up? Does this sound familiar, practitioners? This is what a practitioner does for you. When you're stuck in a situation and you sit in front of Valerie and she goes, well, Bobbi, what are you feeling? Well, I don't know. I'm just really upset and angry. Well, I mean, tell me more about what you're feeling. What are you angry about? Well, this is what I'm angry about. Well, tell me more about that anger. And we get into the feeling, we get into the body. And then at some point, I'm not going to give away the punchline, we get through, thank you, Pam, that was choreographed. You get through with the practitioner to the point of that whatever I'm feeling is a place of fear. And if I can move from fear to love, but close. If I can move from fear to love or faith, that works too, then I can start to ask myself the question of, well, what can I learn from this situation? What's here for me to learn and be curious about? What if there was another way to see this? I hate that question when I can't breathe. Right? So I breathe, and then I can ask myself that question. I wonder how our amazing civil rights activists were able to go through and do what they did. and breathing, just the breathing part. Having the courage to walk through one of the most extraordinary times and facing danger and being curious in a non-violent way, which is, how can we change this course? How can we see this differently? Which is what's so interesting about Martin Luther and John Lewis and Rosa Parks was they did it in a way that was nonviolent, that brought a sense of curiosity to the whole entire experience and changed the course of history. In a time when rights were very limited, pushing that envelope in the way in which they did. That, to me, is the epitome of curiosity. To forge ahead through curiosity, not so concerned with what other people thought, right? Let's go back over here. What if they stayed here? Can you imagine? That would have worked. I don't think so. But not in the world of changing history, but just imagine walking through side by side with those of that time. How can I avoid conflict? So I'd like to close with this. This is Mae Jemison, first African-American female astronaut, right? Don't let anyone rob you of your imagination, your creativity, or your curiosity. It's your place in the world. It's your life. Stop. If life is all about curiosity, if evolving is all about curiosity, what do we get to do over the next week? Be curious. Go on and do all you can with it and make the life you want to live. So the deal is this. I'm going to ask you to not read the bottom one with me. Go ahead and read that silently, the to me. Done? Now let's read the top one together. Are you ready? I commit to growing in self-awareness. Stop. Just let that be. Next line. I commit to regarding every interaction as an opportunity to learn. Stop. When you see something and it triggers you, you shift back, right? And the last line. I commit to curiosity as a path to rapid learning. And so it is.
Very superstitious writings on the wall. Very superstitious ladders bound to fall. 13-month-old baby broke the looking glass. 7 years of bad luck, good things in your past. When you believe in things that you don't understand, then you suffer. Superstition ain't the way. Very superstitious. Hey, wash your face and hands. Rid me of the problem. Do all that you can. Keep me in a daydream. Hey, keep me going strong. Yeah, you don't wanna save me. No, sad is my song. When you believe in things that you don't understand, then you suffer. Superstition ain't the way. Very superstitious, nothing more to say. Very superstitious, hey, the devil's on his way. 13-month-old baby, it broke the looking glass. 7 years of bad luck, good things in your past. If you believe in things that you don't understand, then you suffer. Superstition ain't the way. No, no, no. Superstition. There is superstition.
Wow, that got kind of groovy, huh? If I could please have the ushers come up. And if you would recite with me, please. We rise together as love for ourselves and our community. We rise in acts of service, in generosity, and the expression of our own unique talents. As a committed whole, we give this gift today. Thank you. Ushers, please go ahead and start. I'm so thankful for all the contributions of so many people in this service today. I feel enriched. It's our opportunity to give back and to receive, contribute in any way that you can. In thinking about the drama triangle shown earlier today, I grew up around the cinema business and entertainment. And, that formula, one of the reasons why it's so impressed in us to stay in that triangle, think of how many movies have the hero, victim, and villain, right? That circle right there. I mean, I do kind of like that story. I do. The hero that comes in, I do. Freshly told, right? Just show it to me fresh. But it's the same story over and over again. But also, every time I see it now, that I'm also reminded it's a bit of a pattern that may not always be to my benefit. it is a narrative, but it may not always be the truth that's best for me to how to observe things, right? But it is ingrained in us, right? We've seen it over and over and over again because it's drama. It's a good story, right? Could I please have all of our practitioners stand? These are our credentialed and licensed practitioners who have done extraordinary work to be our spiritual leaders and hold a special consciousness for us all. At the end of the day, we're going to have some prayers here, right there. Thank you, Des, near Des. If you need some little additional support today, they're there for you. If you need it ongoing in your life, they're also here for you. Please. Could I please have our practitioners for the day take out the candle? I believe that's what, Debbie Ann? Thank you, Debbie Ann. Could I get a small hand for Debbie Ann that's doing so much for us right now? Extraordinary. Let us open the circle as we take our light into the world with our intentions for today's service. Could I please have Reverend Bobbi come up, give the benediction?
I was sitting there enjoying you, Keith. Weren't you? He's such a great host. So, you guys are fantastic today. Oh my gosh. And David, Anthony, thank you for joining us today. Wow. Super amazing. I just love how music opens our hearts. It also pulls us back together and moves us out the door so that we can do this, right? Because, life isn't easy. Simple sometimes, but it certainly isn't easy. So we get the support of, just look around the room, at the people that you see every Sunday. We call it Sunday service because it's on Sunday, right? Not because we are church, we're a spiritual community. And we do this, we bring who we are, all of who we are in here. And we get to share that. And hopefully not share it all over someone. Sometimes we do. And then that other person, just gently brings us right back, don't they? But not like a hero. Right? So if I could just invite you all rise as we close this service. I'm so excited for what's about to happen. I know Melissa's got it all ready to go. Jeez. It's like an amen between every line, right, Melissa? I know, I'm with you. So for those of you that are new in the room, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you a question, and you're going to follow the folks next to you who seem to know what they're doing. Right? And those of you that have been here a few times, you're like, I got this. I know what they're going to do. And then they run out the door. Kidding. So, look, these 15 commitments, we've gone through two out of the 15. Radical responsibility, curiosity as a way of learning. 2 powerful commitments that we get to practice. For those of you who haven't picked up the book, pick up the book. Great stuff in there to get to a place where we can be a lot more conscious, not just for the community, but mostly for us. And how do we do this? 15 commitments of conscious living. Right there. Oops. Right there. Vanna. Thank you, Vanna. Don't take her job. I've seen what happens. Don't do that. All right. I know that something amazing is happening right now. What is happening right here and right now?
Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
You want to try that, Keith? What is it? Called life. Dude, where is life? in my body. Life is all that I am. Life is all that we are. So for this next one, Melissa, would you do me a favor? I'll try. Would you tell Jim to give us all he has for the next one?
Okay.
Give it all you
Okay, you asked for it.
Hold on. Wait. What am I going to do with it?
I accept it.
And? And? How do I do that? Hold on, pause. Because you're going to read through the next one really quickly, so you can just move on, aren't you? Let's just pause knowing that the next line is just as important. It's neither right nor wrong, good nor bad. It's just life. We have to acknowledge it. So now say the next line. Ready? It appears not. Not one lesson. No, one. Now, this moment of gratitude where we all get to fill into this space, this place, one thing that you took from today. One thing. Doesn't even have to be the talk. Curiosity, good one. Who did that? Because that's what we talked about. Did you get curiosity out of that one? Ah, I'm done. So reaching down for gratitude. Allowing that gratitude to come all the way up through our body, moving through our body up through into our heads, and allowing our heads to not be the place I live. Drop back down into the heart and allow that gratitude to reside, to flourish and expand. And from that place, on the count of 3, please say the last line. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, life.
Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah, yeah. From the top again, here we go. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Let us be reminded, let us be reminded who we come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah.